Hello and welcome to another update video. In this video we want to take a look at the Cardano price. We're going to have a quick chat about what's going to happen today in the Cardano network. We also take a quick look at Bitcoin and very brief look at Ethereum as well because of what happened after the London hard fork. Let's start straight away with Twitter, what the guys are saying about the hard fork combinator event today. And on Twitter, input output are saying it's scheduled for 9:44 p.m. so 21:44 UTC. So from my point of view here in the UK, that is still 13-14 hours away. And yeah, so throughout the whole day probably not much will happen, but then late in the evening, at least for me here in the UK, the hard fork combinator event is going to happen. I think they also do something like a watch party, the guys from Input Output Hong Kong, so you can participate in that if you want to. Let's start with Ethereum, because I don't want to do a TA on it, but just remember what happened on the 5th of August, which was the London hard fork. Again, there was a bit of a pump before the 5th of August in anticipation of what was going to happen, in my opinion. And I mean, it was well scheduled, through in this bull market in the beginning of the latest bull run here. And then there was a bit of a dump a few days before that, then a pump and another dump here on the 5th actually itself. So that is something that could happen today, a little bit of a dump maybe, or tomorrow. But after that, you can see what happened there. Now, these are not really comparable. These had different, the Alonzo hard fork and the London hard fork. They have completely different results in the network. They had different effects. So Alonzo, that really makes all the smart contracts live. That is huge. It's even bigger in my opinion than the London hard fork. But I just want to show you that again they had a dump as well on the 5th. That is something that could obviously happen if there is a pump before. There can always be a dump, some profit taking place, but then the day after or a few days after we can, because just the requirement and the demand for ADA coins will go up, that could then go up afterwards. So something else that we're going to have coming, and I talked about it yesterday, is the golden cross on the Bitcoin chart. I think it's not there yet. I think it takes another couple of days to get there, where the 50-day moving average is crossing above the 200-day moving average. This is the daily chart, by the way. Just want to zoom out a little bit just to show you the last time that happened to the upside was here on the 20th of May 2020. And since then we have seen a gradual increase. It's called a golden cross. It's generally something that many traders use, or investors across all markets, really, not only across the cryptocurrency space, to basically say that something is in an uptrend or a downtrend. Normally it is seen as a buy signal, but don't necessarily expect just when we have that golden cross for the price to go to the moon straight away, because many people see that obviously as well, but it should have a longer lasting effect. I mean, you can see that here when we made that golden cross back here. Where was it? Here. The price was still moving sideways for a while actually, but then it kicked off at some point. Okay, so it took actually a while for the price to go up, but it's more a long lasting thing. And the time before that actually happened, let's take a look. That was back here in 20, so it doesn't happen that often. It was back here in 2017, and you can see how the price then gradually increased, and we had a new all-time high here. So that is just what's happening. And then after that we had quite the opposite. So yeah, and that could obviously happen again. And don't expect it, as I said, just to when that happens, just to see the price spike suddenly. That's probably not going to happen. I'd like it to be, but probably it won't. So let's take a look on the Bitcoin very briefly here, the 4-hour chart, because what Bitcoin is doing, it attempted a break into this rectangle again. I thought it would be great. It was looking quite bullish, but the 4-hour candle didn't close in it. And when I did my update video yesterday, I said it's really bullish if we can manage to break back in, and if the candle can close in, and it's not a fake out, but it was something like a fake out breakout, not really sustainable. So we broke back outside of the triangle, the rectangle, but then we bounced off the 44,800. Seems to be a good support level here now. We had support here, 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 and here. So we now have something like a channel between the resistance line of that rectangle and that support line. So 44.8, that seems to be an important one. And yeah, we are currently on our way up again. Seems to be something like, be aware of that, something like a head and shoulders here forming. So if we get back to 44.8, be aware of that. That's the hourly chart. We could have something, yeah, we could have an attempted breakout below again to 44,000. That could look likely if we have another move to the downside now. Then it is a head and shoulders pattern. What does it tell us? It tells us that here we obviously had a bounce off the 44K already, moved up. We made a higher high attempt here. The buyers failed. Then we would have a lower high here. And that indicates that we are actually still in sort of a downtrend on the hourly at least. And that could, because buyers have problems pushing the price higher. So we could actually then break to the downside. A head and shoulders oftentimes, not always, breaks to the downside, and that wouldn't be good for Cardano as well, admittedly. Where are we with Cardano? So we had obviously a nice gain yesterday, lost some of it again, but I think that was expected, a small retracement. Now, where have we been? This is the hourly chart. Let me just go back to the 4-hour chart. What we can see, we retraced back to that 255 line. I think it's rather 258 we retraced back to. And if we take the Fibonacci tool, we can see that that worked pretty well with the Fibonacci levels. So we retraced back to that 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level. We shouldn't really drop further. That wouldn't be great. At the moment, I think it's still looking bullish for Cardano. We made a new higher high here. We're currently pretty much at that 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level, not making a lower low. So that would be good, and that could now set us up for another move to the upside, because you can also see, just looking at price action alone on that 4-hour chart here, that we had a strong rejection by buyers down here, a long shadow to the downside, and the next candle is now a small one. We're obviously still in that candle, but we had a huge candle here, a smaller one now, and then a smaller one then, and another smaller one candle now. So that indicates that the sellers are losing a little bit of momentum now on the 4-hour chart in that retracement. And also we have an important Fibonacci retracement level and a former support level here, indicating for me that we could now get, and you can see that here on the hourly more closely, that we're actually stopping that downtrend at the moment, moving sideways again, and have support here at the 50-hour moving average. So the 50-period moving average on the hourly chart. What we potentially have, I'm not sure if we do have that, something like a potential, and it's too early to tell really. Have a trend line forming here, a trend line forming here from down here to where we are now. That could become a ascending triangle. Not sure yet, a bit too early to tell. I put it on the chart here, we can observe it, but it looks like it. And as you know, ascending triangles are a bullish pattern. That means we will probably have that 280, or where did we bounce off? Yeah, 280 here. But really the candle didn't close. There was an attempted breakout about the 273 here. But I think that seems to be a support level, a resistance level here. That might be that horizontal line for that triangle here. So ascending triangle, we had the same down here. You can see it, ascending triangle, where we said when we get into the apex, we will have a breakout, and we did to the upside. So that could now continue, and we might have another breakout here. Let's just assume that might be a valid triangle. We really need to see a few more touches here. Just assuming that is a triangle, we'll have a target of roughly, just take a look, bit of speculation now, we'll have a target of 305. Yeah, so let's hope for the best. I'll keep you updated about that. That would be bullish. Shouldn't drop now below the 255. So that's an important level to watch now, especially if that trend line is going to play out. And then, yeah, I'll update you later today. Let's see what's happening. Looking rather bullish for me at the moment. If that really plays out, we can have a look at the 30-minute chart just to see. We can see more detail, but it seems to be a valid trend line, because you can see that we attempted that breakout above 273 a couple of times here on the 30-minute chart, and we actually got up to 280. Yeah, rejection, of course, retracement after that huge pump yesterday, and now we seem to be climbing up that trend line. That'd be bullish in my opinion, because we need that retracement after that pump yesterday anyway. And what we can see, if we climb up that one and have a horizontal resistance line, that would be the same pattern that we've seen down here, where the buyers are just pushing the price higher. The sellers can't bring it down anymore. And ascending triangle, really nice pattern, really good trend continuation pattern to the upside. Right, let me know what you think. Is that one or not? And where do you think we are going today in terms of the price? Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.